Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today's Thursday, November 5th, 2015. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. The Department of Agriculture is embracing the use of protected agriculture as a means of ensuring that the island becomes more food secure. So notes Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, who was one of the speakers who addressed yesterday's opening ceremony for a workshop on protected agricultural systems coordinated by the Department of Agriculture in collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA.
We here on Nevis have to figure out for ourselves, how are we going to feed this nation over the next 10, 15, 20 years? We cannot be dependent on outside forces or outside countries because they themselves are going to be feeding their own country. And as the world progresses, as technology progresses, as the world population explodes, then we have to figure out what can we do here on Nevis to feed ourselves. This particular technology is a step towards ensuring that we are providing the foundation to feed ourselves in the future, because I do believe that you would understand the versatility and the productivity of greenhouses as you get this, embrace these trainings. So I am very big on this. The PS is big on it. The representative IICA is also big on it. And the whole Department of Agriculture is certainly big on greenhouse technology. And I'm sure you would see in the near future what we mean by it once you would have latched on to the training and embrace it and make it work for yourself and for the island of Nevis.
Farmers on Nevis were able to benefit from the workshop, which is part of a project which was launched with the commissioning of the shade house at the Prospect Agricultural Station earlier this year. Addressing the participants, Director of Agriculture Keithley Amory noted that protected agriculture is becoming more and more important, and he urged the farmers to put what they learned into practice.
Startup costs can be greatly reduced if we focus on utilizing local substrates or local media. So that is one of the things that the Department of Agriculture is trying to focus on, the use of local substrates such that we can pass on that information onto persons, farmers who are interested in having a startup greenhouse or shade house. We have done it a few years ago using peat moss, we have used stones, we have used sponge, and we had some great success. So those various substrates is things that we like to use on a commercial basis to see what will happen in the long run.
Giving an overview, Augustine Merchant noted that IICA was very pleased to be part of the workshop, the first in a series of training programs.
Nevis is getting smaller in the fact that we are constructing more houses. The areas where we had for livestock, we had for plants, are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And so, whether we like it or not, we will have to turn to protective agriculture in order to feed ourselves. And so, this morning, what we'll be doing is we're not going to start out with anything sophisticated. We are going to be doing the very simple thing, telling you about the simple thing of shade house. How it is constructed, how you locate the site for construction, and those very simple matters. And then the other workshop, because I think we have at least 4 workshops to complete. The other workshop will be going to the agronomy of the crops and so on. But at this stage, what we really want to do is to give you the basic of the house.
The facilitators for yesterday's workshop were Kenroy Martin and the supervisor of the Department of Agriculture, Randy Elliott, who last year received training in protected agriculture in Mexico. A criminal justice strategic board, which has been approved by the federal cabinet, will be launched on Wednesday, November 11th at the police training complex. So noted Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris during his monthly press conference on Tuesday, November 3rd. The Criminal Justice Strategic Board is designed to bring together on a regular basis high-level personnel from various departments to jointly strategize and direct the implementation of initiatives to drive criminal justice reform in the Federation. The board is dedicated to a number of safety measures with regards to citizens, residents, and visitors alike. They include keeping people safe, reducing and preventing crime, bringing offenders to justice, reintegrating offenders into society at a lower risk of reoffending, and utilizing its shared resources efficiently in the Federation's best interests, with all efforts directed towards the improvement of the criminal justice system. Representation from police, prisons, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, Probation and Child Protection Services, Youth Justice, Defense Force, Customs, Education, Financial Intelligence Unit, and Fire and Rescue Services will make up the board. It will also be comprised of representatives from NIVIS, who are to be determined by the Office of the Premier. The representatives should be heads of departments or persons of sufficiently high level in the organization who are able to make strategic decisions and commitments for criminal justice reforms on behalf of their respective departments. At the launch, Prime Minister Harris is expected to install the members of the board. In addition, members will be invited to sign a memorandum of understanding committing themselves to the work and responsibilities of the board. Attorney General, the Honorable Vincent Byron, is expected to assume chairmanship of the Criminal Justice Strategic Board. In more local news.
One of the mandates of community development is to revive the community festivals, and so far so good. We are working on reviving Gingerama this year, and it's going to come off.
Director of the Department of Community Development, Janet Maloney, speaking with host of the Social Development Outlook, Curtis Morton, ahead of today's Gingerama press conference. The press conference was held this morning at the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union's conference room. Here is more in this report.
Reviving our culture, preserving our heritage is the theme for this year's Gingerama Festival. The festival, which has been dormant for more than 12 years, will this year come alive from Thursday 17th to Sunday 20th December 2015. At a press conference held earlier today at the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union's conference room, Chairperson of the committee, Evelyn, spoke about the festival's objectives.
To provide an avenue for residents of St. George's Gingerland to showcase their talent, to provide wholesome entertainment for residents of Gingerland as well as other members of the Nevision public, particularly during the Christmas season, to provide an opportunity for residents of St. George's Gingerland to work together, thereby fostering community spirit, to serve as a platform to revive several cultural art forms once very vibrant in St. George's Gingerland, to encourage economic activity in St. George's, and to assist in the overall development of St. George's Gingerland.
Evelyn also outlined the list of activities for Gingerama 2015.
On Thursday, December the 17th, it will be the Grand Gingerama Opening and Cultural Expo, and that will be twinned with the community Christmas tree lighting. We know we normally have a community Christmas tree lighting right there at Market Shop, and so we have decided to twin the opening of the festival with the Christmas tree lighting this year. On Friday, December the 18th, there will be the Miss Gingerama Swimwear pageant, and that will be at 8 o'clock. On Saturday, the 19th of December, we have what we call the Ginger Jam, which is actually like a Juve morning, and that will be from 5:30 a.m. featuring the very popular core band. The Saturday is a packed day, and at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock we can get breakfast in the Gingerama village. Then from 11 a.m. there will be a cultural food fair and fun day. Then in the afternoon from 6 o'clock we would have had the core band on the road at 5:30, and the core band will be in the village, in the Gingerama village from 6 p.m. on that day, on the Saturday. So that will be a packed day. And then on Sunday the 20th, we climax with the Miss Gingerette pageant, and that will be from 7 p.m.
Chairperson of the Gingerama Committee, Evelyn. The Gingerama Committee members include the members of the head table, Corey Tyson, Sandra Brown, Nikita Liburd, Roslyn Berkeley, as well as Sidama Jones, Seba Jones, Antonio Liburd, Veronica Brandy, Naomi Walwin, Esther Brooks, Jasmine Herbert, Kimon Movin, Ralph Liburd, and Trevoy Liburd. Reporting for the Nevis Newscast, I am Fredicia Liburd.
Meantime, according to Meloni, the Department of Community Development is working to revive other community festivals around Nevis.
We are hoping that to revive Gingerama next year as well. Yes. So next year, we are hoping that there will be Winfest, Gingerama, and Gingerama.
Director of Community Development, Janet Meloni. Still to come.
And on behalf of my ministry, I say happy 99th birthday.
The details after this break.
Hey, you know it's your groovy soca monarch king, your boy Speedy, and I'm here with the Inland Revenue Department, and I love my side dish. And guess what? I also love Nevis too. And as a responsible taxpayer, your tax dollars help to build our nation. So I'm here to tell you, pay your taxes on time and be a responsible citizen. And don't get me wrong, it's a serious song. I pay my taxes. Boom!
Welcome back. In a symbolic gesture on Friday, October 30th, UNESCO officials handed over the Education Policy Review Document 2015 to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honorable Sean Richards. The minister noted that parents, teachers, students, education officials, and employers, among others, are eagerly anticipating the revamping of the sector to make it more relevant to the needs of individuals as well as to national development generally. Present at the handing over ceremony was Antonio Maynard, the Secretary General of the National Commission for UNESCO, who gave a brief description of other education-related programs being organized with the guidance and technical assistance of the National Commission. Permanent Secretary Ione Liburd-Willett, Chief Education Officer Dr. Tricia Esdale, and Education Planner Quinton Morton were also on hand to witness the important occasion. Meantime, the Education Policy Review document was presented to the Ministry of Education following 2 days of intense review and discussion by education officials and the sector stakeholders, which featured an official report presented by David Achurena, Director of the Division of Policies and Lifelong Learning Systems, and Megumi Watanabe, Program Specialist for UNESCO. Local Coordinator of the Education Policy Review, Dr. Neva Pemberton, said the report from UNESCO is insightful and will be useful in the development of a medium-term education sector strategy. Dr. Pemberton expressed gratitude on behalf of the Ministry for the critical assistance of UNESCO with the review. After 3 successful technical missions spanning 2014 to present, the policy review provides a detailed analysis of critical areas within education, namely governance, management and planning, academic staff policy, curriculum assessment, and teaching and learning. And finally,
And on behalf of my ministry, I say happy 99th birthday.
Junior Minister the Honorable Hazel Brandy-Williams and other officials from the Ministry of Social Development on Sunday, November 1st, joined the family and friends of River Path resident Mary Brown to celebrate her 99th birthday. Minister Brandy-Williams acknowledged Brown for her sterling contribution to her community and Nevis by extension.
I am told that in your day, you were one of the top-class seamstresses in Nevis. And so you would have touched the lives of persons making clothes for the rich and the not so rich. Because I understand when persons did not have the money to pay, you would tell them, go along with your clothes and pay me when you can. And so we are indeed thankful and very grateful for that sterling contribution that you have made.
I'm saying to God be the glory. Great things He has done. Because He's so love this world, He gave us His Son. And while there are sons, there are children. So we give thanks. But God continues to bless all for coming to look after me and to making your service, whatever it is. Thanks very much.
The celebration also saw a number of other tributes from Brown's family.
I just want to say a special happy birthday, because she is the one who actually raised me from a baby.
11 months.
And I have this special love for her.
We grew up together, brother and sister. We always love each other. I can depend on you, you can depend on me. Keep on batting. God is good. All the time. All the best to you.
I would like to wish my grandmother a happy 99th birthday, and may she live to see many more.
She has lived long enough to see her first son being married for 54 years.
Life is good.